Okay, hi guys. Thanks for hopping on. We are going to review some Plexus products and we will do that quickly. There's several that are not on. So I ask for those who are watching, if you were designated a product, if you will just put that into pink diamonds, which was formerly Joy's Jewels, and just hashtag Plexus products or hashtag the name of the product, do both. And then that way, if anyone's searching for a particular product, they can go to pink diamonds and hashtag Plexus products and they'll all pop up. So let's get started. Jesse, if you will do the first one and talk briefly about what your product is, that would be awesome.
All right, perfect. So I had the Plexus Edge, this little guy right here, and it is said to provide healthy, sustained energy, sharpen your thinking, enhance concentration and focus, and improve your mood. And it does all that with just 3 natural ingredients. There's theacrine, L-theanine, and natural caffeine. And I just think it's really cool. Obviously, there are researchers who do what they do because I studied each of the products, and it's so cool how they all connect. So the theacrine is a natural compound with the ability to increase your mental clarity, energize you, and increase your overall mood and motivation. And it can also increase and extend the positive effects of caffeine. And the caffeine, along with the theacrine, increases the bioavailability. So the caffeine increases the bioavailability of the theacrine. So obviously, they made that connection, and I thought it was cool. And the theacrine has no effect on your blood pressure, and it does not disrupt sleep. So it works well with the caffeine, and it does elevate anything that doesn't need to be elevated. The L-theanine is a amino acid that's just commonly found in tea. And when that is combined with caffeine, it produces a distinct cognitive enhancement profile without jitters. So it enhances, your sharper thinking, your concentration, focus. And the L-theanine had a lot of benefits alone, let alone combined with these other 2 ingredients. But some of the major benefits of the L-theanine were it reduces anxiety, stress, and reduces symptoms of depression. So it was really cool. And I like to take the Edge for like the mood improvement benefits that it gives me. So I thought it was really cool just digging a little deeper into that. And then they pull their natural caffeine from like coffee beans that haven't been roasted yet. So I guess that's it for the Plexus Edge.
Cool.
Recommended for nursing or pregnant women. Otherwise, I think everybody is good to take that.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Patricia, do you want to share about ease?
Sure. It was actually fascinating digging into this, and I found more and more information that I want to dig even further. But to start with, is Dr. Dennis Harris, and that developed Ease and Nerve. And you can go on to YouTube and see more. He has videos on there of him talking about Plexus and Nerve and Ease. And I haven't watched all of his videos yet. And it was just kind of fascinating what I did watch of him when it rolled out on June 10th, 2015, which I didn't know it was that new. And originally it was called Plexus Fast Relief. And I don't know if he still is. I haven't dug deeper, but that he is a doctor for Plexus, and I don't know if he still is. I don't know if anybody knows that, but on here, but I'm sure somebody in Plexus knows that. But anyway, it's just kind of fascinating. If you want some just interesting, watch more videos and learn more about Plexus, go check out Dr. Dennis Harris. But it was fascinating to find out that they have done numerous studies, which I am finding that Plexus in general on their products does numerous studies before they roll it out, both with Ease and the Ease cream. And what is in Ease is the New Zealand grain lipid, which does lessen pain and inflammation. That's where it gets the fishy taste, smell, whatever. I have seen some comment that they really, really don't like the taste of it. I've heard that if you keep it in the fridge, it lessens the smell and the taste of it. I just swallow it, and I don't mind it. I don't mind fish, so I don't think it's that bad. In fact, one time at the end of my bottle, a capsule had broken open, and I actually just dumped the powder in my mouth and took some water, and I wasn't going to waste that one. And I didn't think it was bad. But it has New Zealand green lipid. It has bromelain, which comes from pineapple, the stem of the pineapple, and that too reduces pain and inflammation. Something that I found along with that and studying that deeper is that it actually assists with inflammation in the nose. And when you get that stuffy nose, or that where your nose feels like it's swollen shut, it assists with that. And that is the bromelain in it that helps with that. Like I said, this is pretty fascinating.
Wow.
Serapeptase is also in it, which chops up and digests protein. I don't know if you're interested in knowing where serapeptase comes from. That's interesting. Do you want to know?
Sure.
That one I was like, oh, it actually comes from the silkworm.
What?
Yeah, that one I'm like, they produce it to digest their cocoon. And maybe I shouldn't go this deep, but this is what I found out. So I thought it was pretty interesting. And then turmeric. And I don't know if any of you are to the age where you take turmeric every day, but the powdered turmeric is very healthy to take. And turmeric as just a powder does not digest unless you have fat with it. And Ease has the fat with it to make the turmeric work also.
And turmeric's for inflammation, right?
Yes, it is. It reduces aches in the body, and it helps both short and long-term aches and pains. So yes, all the ingredients are definitely for inflammation and ache and pain. It started out as I was researching, saying that, you know, the way our mind controls our attitudes and thoughts, which have an influence on our body and how we control pain, which is true. I mean, that's just true. The product is fortified with natural ingredients, which nourishes the joints by supplying them with what it takes for joint recovery and enhances joint growth, thus eliminates any discomfort in the body. And I know my part wasn't nerve, but along in doing this studying and with Dr. Dennis Harris, because he is both Ease and nerve, that he said the reason he developed the nerve was all the doctors out there that assisted with pain and controlling pain only masked the pain, took something to alleviate the pain, but nerve actually rejuvenates the nerve and repairs the nerve. It's not just masking the pain, it's rejuvenating the nerve, which fantastic. Ease actually rejuvenating the joints, which it's not just a masking of the pain like Tylenol and not to mention other names, but I found that fascinating. It tackles inflammation, bringing an end to all sharp pains associated with ailing. improving the penetration ability of the supplement to reach the bottom of the targeted area, which again, it's going to the base of the inflammation. It's kind of like our new Joyome. It's going in and working with the microbiomes, in from the inside out, and Ease works from the inside out and targeting the inflamed area, which I thought that was awesome too. It had a really good track record in the studies that they had done that it did work to diminish joint pain or to get rid of joint pain. The product provides immediate results for minor aches and maximum effects on chronic pain. It said should be expected in the 4th month, that it took a few months.
Yeah.
I'm actually following some of the people that have started taking it or asking questions about it. I know when I first started it, I started just taking it kind of like I do Tylenol and ibuprofen. Oh, I hurt today, I'll take some. And I didn't notice much difference. I'm like, I don't know that this really works. And some people say, yes, just within a half hour after taking it, they've noticed a difference. I personally did not. And so I started doing more research of like, okay, and that's when I learned that they do recommend doing a loading dose, where you take 6 3 times a day, 2, 2, and 2 for a month. And you load your system with the Ease, and it takes a long time for it to release your body. And so once you do that loading dose, the 2nd month they recommend you doing 4, 2, and 2. You do the 4 twice a day for the next month, and then after that take it as needed, but take at least 1 and maybe 2 a day so that it stays in your system. And that's what I have done. And I can tell you, I am dancing on the ceiling. What it has done for my joints and the pain and the chronic pain. Several years ago, I dropped a rock on my right foot, and it broke several bones in there, but they can't cast it. And in the healing process, arthritis is what is created in there. Doctor's recommendation has been to put screws and pins in there, and I refuse to go there. I'm not doing that. But my foot literally was to the point of, should I have it amputated? I think I'd rather have it amputated than pins and screws. It was in so much pain. Awake at night. And ta-da! I'll let you all know, a year ago today is when I signed up for Plexus.
Happy anniversary!
Yeah. I was talking to my daughter about this. I said, where I was a year ago on this day.
Yay.
Yeah. It's huge. It's huge for me.
Good.
I have a whole new life. I really do. And I do get frustrated when I talk to people. I'm like, come on, people, this will change your life.
Yeah.
And just to reflect back where I was a year ago, it's incredible. I love that. I mean, I'm up here visiting my daughter and playing with grandkids today, and we shopped all day, and a year ago I could not have done that. In fact, as I came into her house tonight, I said, Diana, your steps always bring me back to where I was a year ago. I said, it's a year ago today that I signed up. And I said, I remember walking up your stairs a year ago, and I could hardly make it up the steps. And I said, and look at me today.
Wow. That's awesome.
It is incredible. It really is. It is incredible. Anyway, I love Ease. Let's see, what else? I didn't mean to get sidetracked and so teary, but.
Hey, Trisha, how long were you on Ease before you noticed a difference?
It took me into the end of that first month when I was doing the loading dose of 6 a day, I just thought, oh my gosh, this is a lot to take. And I would say near the end of the third week, going into that fourth week, was when it's like, I'm starting to see a difference. And I stuck with it. I thought, I am going to put this to the test, literally. And the next month, I took the 4, the 2 and the 2 religiously. And I took it all month. And I'm like, I can tell a difference. And I forget now, because I'm not in pain every day. I forget to take it every day. And then it's like, oh, shoot, I got to take it to keep it in my system so I can stay on that 1 or 2 a day. And it's incredible. I mean, and I was getting pain relief just taking the triplex, but it wasn't getting to my foot. And I just, Lily, I mean, my knee had started healing after about 5 months on the triplex, but my foot was still, and I can't tell you the pain that it was giving me. And I would lay awake at night, just like, this hurts so stinking bad. And, what am I going to do? And everybody's like, Mom, maybe it's time, or my neighbors, maybe it's time to go get the pins and screws in your foot. Maybe that's what you need to do. And I'd heard that the pins and screws were the last resort kind of thing. But I don't hardly ever think about my foot anymore. It just hardly ever hurts. If I've been walking all day long, like I said, today I was out shopping with my grandkids and out playing. We went to the park and played all day. Then I came home and I swept my daughter's driveway. And I mean, I have the energy and can keep going. And tonight my foot still doesn't hurt. And it's
incredible.
Thank you, plexus. Thank you, nerve. It really, really is incredible.
So do you take ease and nerve?
I have tried them. I don't find that what I have, the nerve really helps. I didn't notice the difference. Nerve is for the nerve pain. I think mine is more that arthritis and the bone pain.
Okay.
So I think it's more inflammation. I haven't they do recommend the loading dose with nerve.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, should I try it and see, Yeah. I actually did start out taking nerve 1 month, but didn't know to do the loading dose. And I was seeing a difference in my foot. My foot actually kind of felt numb. It was kind of an interesting, so maybe I should combine the two now, and just kind of see. And I'm willing to play with that, see what would happen if I added nerve to it. But nerve is for repair of nerve damage. Those with sciatica and those kind of ailments, absolutely get them on nerve and ease. I mean, it just, and we're a society that has a lot of pain. And this is incredible. This is
suffer through it.
Stuff. It really is.
Awesome.
There are several that don't like the fishiness of it. They're like, I just can't get past that fishiness.
It does smell. I'm not gonna lie.
But I thought, if you get past your pain, that fishiness is nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can get it down with water quickly.
Yeah. And I have it right there, and I just take it and swallow it, and I just don't think it doesn't give me fish burps or anything. But going on with what I did find out about it is that in their study, the field studies that they did, they never had any negative side effects show up, which I thought that was pretty incredible too.
That is.
Let's see. It did say if they're pregnant or nursing, to check with their doctor before taking it, because the serrapeptase may interfere with clotting. And then also, if you are taking ease, and are going into surgery, to stop taking it 2 weeks before the surgery, because it does thin the blood. Maybe none of you have gotten to the age where you take a little aspirin every day. Doctor hasn't recommended that yet. That's the blood thinner. But if you are doing the aspirin every day, which I used to be doing, and I don't anymore because I'm taking Ease, it does thin the blood. And so if you're going into surgery, stop taking it 2 weeks before your surgery. And they said that it actually is really good to take after surgery because it aids in the healing from the surgery. So even if you haven't been on it, start taking it after surgery because it will aid in healing from the surgery. Fascinating. I thought it was very fascinating. I've had so much fun researching this, but and then the turmeric, kind of like I mentioned before, is a natural remedy for inflammation. And then also inflammation, and you guys are all still young enough, so you're not worried about it, but it is the root cause of signs of aging. It's inflammation that causes the wrinkles, the pain, the joint pain, everything that people start complaining about when you age. But the turmeric assists with reversing the signs of aging, which I just thought that was pretty cool. It also, turmeric is good for brain and heart function. And then it also helps with energy.
So I had a question. So if say somebody has fibromyalgia, which, I don't know, is that a nerve or is that an ease thing?
I actually have been following, like I said, and several have gotten on there with fibromyalgia, and they had been taking both. I would definitely tell them to start with ease, and
then you do the loading
yes,
dose.
take the loading dose. There were some on there that said, "Oh no, I never took the loading dose and I was fine." And there may be some that I mean, I kind of get that a lot of placebo pills help a lot of people. That's the placebo effect. I mean, really.
Well, I had somebody trying that for fibromyalgia, and she said it didn't work, but that was a while back. I had no idea about loading doses.
And I would always, just so that they don't try it and say, this doesn't work, because it didn't work for me either, because I'm like, no, this isn't really working. And then as I researched it more, it was recommending the loading dose. And I would recommend out the gate to say, do the loading dose. And then some were saying, oh, but I can't afford that. That's 3 bottles for the month and then 2 bottles for the next month. You can't afford not to. I go out and beg on the street corners to get the money for it, whatever it takes. Start with the loading dose. And it's incredible. It's incredible what it does. And also just even for the inflammation, I thought, man, during period time, I don't have that anymore, but of the inflammation, I mean, like my fingers, my rings, I've got to all go get them sized because they're all, falling off my fingers. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it takes care of inflammation, all inflammation. So period time, that inflammation and all that, it's inflammation. But yeah, somebody that's taking it for chronic pain, I would absolutely have them start. And I would start them on ease first and do the loading dose. And if they're not feeling the total, I would then start with the nerve and see. And I have a daughter that has both. I mean, she's been taking ease, and just about a month ago, she started with the nerve. And she said so far she hasn't been seeing a huge difference. And she has she's in a major accident and she has a metal spine, and I mean, she's got all kinds of things going on, but yeah, and have them add the nerve and see what it does, and how that feels. But again, with the nerve, do a loading dose, same thing.
Awesome.
Thank you. Gosh, that was some good information, girl.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's fun to research.
Awesome. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Well, good. This is going to be good to have in pink diamonds for everyone to reference.
Yeah.
All right, Kara, you're up. X Factor, sister.
All right. X Factor delivers the most bioactive and bioavailable forms of key ingredients for superabsorption. So for you to get that, though, they really recommend that you take it with food, because that helps with the bioactive and the bioavailability. Like, it helps your body absorb it better. So if you're not taking your X Factor Plus with food, you may not be getting the complete benefits that you could be getting.
And me personally, if I find I take it without food, it kind of upsets my stomach.
They say if that happens too, that you can also split it, so you take one pill, say with breakfast, and one with lunch, for people who
I
have
never take two.
stomachs. So if you or anybody else experiences that, especially when they take it with food, have them split the dose.
Okay.
And that should help with it. They say that's because they're so I can't think of the word, because they're so potent that it can upset some people's stomachs. It contains 100% or more of the daily value of 19 vitamins and minerals. It contains a high potency vitamin B complex, complete B vitamin complex. It features polyphenols to help protect your gut microbiome. There's more than 50 naturally occurring trace minerals that are contained in it. This is something that's really cool, is that it's free of the binders, which slow absorption. So it doesn't have all the fillers and stuff that other ones are. In fact, that's why it's in a capsule and not in like a tablet form, or it's a tablet and not what is it? It's in a capsule, not a tablet, because the tablets have the binders to keep it all together, whereas the capsule you just swallow. And since the binders and the fillers can slow the absorption, Plexus wanted to keep all that out. It's non-GMO, 100% vegetarian, gluten-free. So that's all like the specs. But like some of the stuff I learned is that I was always wondering why there wasn't iron in it, because a lot of people, a lot of times you're told, get one with iron. And they said it's because they wanted it for the widest range of people, and people over 50 don't necessarily need the iron. So that's why they did not incorporate the iron into the X Factor Plus. I know, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
What else did I find interesting? Oh, you get the objection. I eat healthy, I exercise, why do I need this? It's because it's a supplement. It's to help fill in your nutritional gaps. And pretty much everybody has nutritional gaps. Hey, Luke. Pretty much everybody has nutritional gaps because of the quality of our food anymore. So unless you know the nutrients that are in your soil and you're growing all of your own food and all of that, you're going to have nutritional gaps, just because the quality of our soil is not as good as it was years ago. So they did like some kind of a study where they compared an orange and the nutritional value. Don't ask me how they did this. Like 30 years ago to oranges nowadays. And they used to be smaller oranges. And one of those smaller oranges is like compared to I think it was 7 of our bigger oranges now.
Wow. To
get the same nutritional value. So we just can't get it in the food that we have. So we need these vitamins to fill in those gaps that are missing in our lives. What else did I find interesting? Oh, it has folate instead of folic acid, because up to 39% of the population cannot use folic acid. Their bodies won't translate it into the folate that it needs, and so that they can absorb it and use it. So that's why there's folate, which is the natural version. Folic acid is the synthetic, which we don't have in X Factor Plus at all. There's nothing synthetic. It's all natural to help your body be able to absorb it. There was a clinical study, preliminary, independent, important. It's an independent preliminary study findings, but it is done by an independent study. It's not one that Plexus is doing. It's independent. A lot of people will ask that. Well, is it Plexus doing the clinical studies? This is an independent one. And some of the findings are that it reduced the production of undesirable compounds in the gut. It reduced the ammonium levels in the gut by 18%. It increased the beneficial, I am going to totally butcher these names, lactobacillus bacalis by 15%. It increased the beneficial Akkermansia microbe by 9 times, and it increased the beneficial Iodobacterium, I don't know, by 2 times. So it also helped the gut. Like, it decreased the stuff that you don't want, and it increases all the stuff you do. And just something that, before I say this last thing, I would highly recommend going, because I'm not going to go through what each of the vitamins does, but they have in your shareables, if you go and you look at the info sheet, they go through each vitamin and why they included it, what it does, how it helps you. Yeah, it's like 3 pages long, 4 pages long, something like that. So I'm not going to go through and highlight all that, but I would recommend going and looking and reading through them. But the last thing I did want to mention that I didn't know is because of the vitamins and polyphenols in X Factor Plus, it could impact your blood clotting process. So if you have anybody on a blood thinner, you need to make sure they take this to their doctor before they get on it, or a pharmacist, because if they're on a blood thinner and then they get on this, it could affect the blood clotting if they have a cut or if they need surgery or anything like that. So I thought that was important. I had never heard that in anything I was listening to.
Me neither.
And so I thought it was something that everybody should know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good information too. Thank you.
You're
That's a
welcome.
good one. Okay, guys, stay with me. So, Kara, I know I just had a couple of products that I'll touch base on, and then, Kara, I know you didn't do the book, but I have some cliff notes that I just want all of us to hear, and then we can talk through it a little bit because they're pretty impactful. So, the one I had, one of the products I had was Nerve, which Trisha, thank you. Nerve and Ease really work together. So she touched on that it actually what is the word I'm looking? It heals the nerve. It actually, you know what I'm saying. And then the other one I had was the very first product that Plexus ever had, and that's the breast check kit. And basically what it is it is just a small film that goes over the breast, and it helps with sensory touch magnification. So I'm kind of in the prime of my life right now where 42, I should be doing breast checks regularly. So I have not done one of these, but I'm going to buy one and actually do it. And I probably should start gifting these to friends because
It's time for your mammogram, dear.
do what?
It's time for a mammogram.
It is. And I've had a couple and I'm due for one. Actually, probably this month, I think I'm due for one. I need to get on them. Okay, so guys, thank you for sharing your products. If you would please just, I don't know, do a quick paragraph or so and then just put a picture of it. And like I said, hashtag Plexus products or something like that. And then the name of it in pink diamonds, then we can go back and check it out when we need that information for anybody. Okay, so the book that we read was called How to Rock Your Networking Business. And this woman is her name's Sarah Robbins. She's at the top of another networking company and has been for years. And I thought it was such an easy read. And I can't wait for you guys to give me your input on this. But I just wanted to go over a few quick tidbits because I know we're already at 45 minutes into this call. And I know, Kara, you didn't read it, but I wanted you to hear this because these were these aha moments in reading this book for me that I was like, oh my gosh, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. And that's what I have to remember. So let me just read a couple of these to you guys. Okay. A couple of things she said was, keep in mind it only takes a few power partners to change your life. So you might have to go through a large amount of people to find those leaders, but it's well worth it. In fact, most top earners in the industry make most of their income from just 2 to 5 people, even if they have personally sponsored hundreds of people. That is like astonishing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
She has said she's had more than 100 people join her as business partners. Of those, 30 are still working the business at a moderate pace. Of those 100, 30 are working at a moderate pace. Of those, 10, she has top 10 leaders in our pay plan at that time, okay? Of those, about 3 people account for a good majority of her income. That just shows you this is a numbers game. This is like, she says that you need to commit to a minimum of 5 years in this business. Some people are going to get there really quick, like we've seen with the diamonds on our team. Otherwise, you got to commit to 5 years, a minimum of 5 years, because it takes time to build. She said that 5 contacts per day keeps the leads coming her way. Talk to 5 people a day and always have a pipeline of prospects. I thought this was pretty interesting. You can't motivate people who are unwilling to do what it takes to succeed. You can only lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Success-minded people are already self-motivated. Your job is not to motivate people, but to find motivated people. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Okay. One thing, quitting is the surest way to fail. You won't succeed with anything if you quit, so never give up. I recently read that as many as 95% of those who remain in the industry for 10 years or longer, working steadily at building their groups, reach their highest level of pay in their respective business. Think about that for a second. Stick with your business, do something to grow it every day, and never quit, and you will have high odds of succeeding. I was like, oh my gosh. Think about where we are in 10 years down the road. If we would quit, we would probably be kicking ourselves, because Plexus is growing at a rapid rate with amazing products that we just heard about tonight, and they're coming out with more, and it's amazing. Okay. Not everyone who joins is fully prepared to be a business owner. We just have to know that. Owning a business is not for weak-minded people. It takes a special person to succeed in any kind of business. You must be mentally tough. You can work your business part-time, but not some of the time. You need to pick a work schedule to build your networking business and stick with it. You must be consistent and work your business. And it's important that you set aside a minimum of 10 to 15 hours of income-producing activity per week if you desire to have a larger network. You guys, I could go on, but I'm like, this book to me was incredible. And while it was basic information, like common sense information, it's what I needed to hear, because sometimes things so big that I have to get down to, no, you share it like you do a product. Like Trisha, you have an amazing story of success that you just want to share. And you want to share, and you want people to know it. And if they say no, fine, they say no, we move on. But you're sharing, and you're going to find the people that are going to want to do it too. So anyway, enough about, I want to hear what you guys think, because this book was incredible. And I thought, okay, 5 years. I got to give this 5 years. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Fire away.
I haven't read it yet. Liz got the book and she said, we'll read it together. That hasn't happened, but she has read it and she shares with me, and now I get to get it from her, so I can't read it. But something that she has shared and we had fun doing while we were in Arizona that she picked up on was the being in gratitude for everything. Big or small, whatever. I mean, even the first pay, I mean, that I think of that first $20 that showed up in my account, and I didn't, where the money comes from, I don't keep tabs.
Yeah, it's just
and I was like, I had $20 in there. What did I do? You know? But it's awesome, and I am in gratitude for $20. And you know, the zeros have added, and I'm like, and each month it's getting a little bigger and a little bigger. You know, and we're not Joyce and Kirsten that went fast start gold right out the gate, but I appreciate that lead. But just in gratitude for even the littlest of things, but being in gratitude for the people that want to hear about it, that have joined, that have ordered, the customer that's ordered one time, whatever it is. But we found some cute thank you notes that actually are kind of Plexus colored and themed, that we picked up several boxes, and I just started 2 days ago for a customer, one-time order. I only want one time. And I sent her a thank you note. Got it right out at the same time she ordered. And
That's awesome.
writing everybody thank you notes that appreciate them for showing up in your life. And I just know that will be huge in making a difference.
And I think you touched on something too, and this is a conversation that I had with one of my ambassadors today, is she was like, but I didn't start Fast Start Gold. I don't have anybody building a business under me. And I said, regardless of what level you are in this business, you are constantly thinking, okay, what can I do more? What can I change? What can I do to motivate? So that just never goes away. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there are points in this process where we're working harder than somebody else because we can and we're motivated and that's what we do. But she was like, as soon as I find someone who builds that business, then I'm good. And I'm like, no, because once you get promoted, you got to go find somebody else and you got to go find somebody else. So you're always going to have that. So I think you really touched on it when you said have the gratitude of where you are, because you're right. We need to be thankful for the blessing that we currently have.
Yeah. Yeah. And even the person that says, oh, I'm not interested right now. Do you mind if I stay in contact with you? Oh, sure, you can do that.
I'll come back.
Let me come kiss your feet. Thank you. I just thank you for showing up. Thank you for being there. Thank you for answering me. And everything is just gratitude. Just thank you. And even those that have been, I've had some weird things, and I've learned a lot from them. And I'm like, wow, thank you for showing up, because I wouldn't have learned that if I hadn't have worked through that with you,
For sure.
And so it's just, I've lived all over the U.S. and had many jobs everywhere, but this is so stinking fun. It's just so much fun.
I love it.
Yeah.
Jesse, what did anything stick out to you about the book?
I've only read half of it, but I did like Trisha said, she did say in there that she writes thank you letters, like handwritten. That means something to somebody, instead of just shooting them a message like you've been, and then like they probably feel forgotten, and they get something in the mail a couple days later, like, oh, they really thought about that. And just how they talked about customers are important as well, and you need to have a good customer service, because your customers are getting you your volume, which gets you paid instantly, as opposed to your builders who will help you grow and stuff.
Yeah.
And I also liked, I don't know if it was the first chapter or second chapter, where she talked about really doing your why and like sitting down and like being detailed. And I feel like I did that probably like with more detail than I ever had before, like saying, when I make X amount, this is what I'm going to do with it. And then when I make the next amount, what I would allot the other money to, so I actually like gotten more detail about it. So that was also a way to have like the small steps. She said, you can have like your great goal, but you need to break it down so you have things that you're actually like achieving as you're going.
Yeah. I feel like she really gave some good pointers. A couple of that kind of stuck out to me was talking to people now is what you do for a living. So that must be a part of your lifestyle. So talk to people, talk about what you do. And one thing that I've heard on several videos from people, especially diamonds, is they were like, these are amazing, awesome, top of the line products. And we should be proud to be a part of the company, and we should be proud to refer them to people. And if we don't come out of the gate with that attitude, with that feeling like these are amazing and these are going to change your life, if they start to hear from us like, have you heard Plexus? Because it's kind of worked for me. It might work for you. Then they're going to be like, well, does it work? Does it not work? I don't know. Whereas if we come out and be like, you guys, these are amazing. They're awesome. You should try it. If they say no, fine. So what? But we at least have the passion to go forward and say that. Another thing that stuck out to me, she said, is if you replace every no with a referral, your contact list will never run dry. So if somebody says no, then say, okay, great, I totally understand. I'll meet you where you're at. But do you know of anybody who would benefit from these products? And I was like, well, dude, I've never done that either.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a
Right?
good one. Yeah, that is a good one. And just going back to what you just said, that is one thing coming out of Arizona just this weekend. I really got a greater, I mean, I've never done a lot of MLMs, but I've always kind of had a little bit of the attitude in the back of, everybody thinks their MLM is great. You gotta, of course, yes, I've got the best product here. But seriously, seeing the research that goes into this, the ease, and seeing the research that was done before they made a product, this is an incredible product. And we can be proud and shout from the rooftops right out the gate, like you were saying, Joy, that we have a quality product here. I never really appreciated that until this weekend. It's incredible, just the research and the high quality ingredients that go into them, and to be proud that, yep,
they're amazing. And it's just the beginning of where Plexus is going to go, you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry,
only now 18 products. Yeah, we got lots more coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thing sounds like it's unleashing upstairs. But one other thing they said is, when she said, pick a company and stick with it. The grass is never greener on the other side. The grass is only greener when you water it. And I was like, exactly right. We need to have belief in what we do. We need to talk about it with empowerment and just keep moving forward. I'm like, I thought it was an awesome book. Kara, if you have not read it, it's like, I think you can get it for like $8, and it is a well worth your read book. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to hop off. Sorry, it's 10 o'clock and
No, sorry, sure good.
I'm getting crazy over here. All right, well, thank you guys. Y'all are awesome. Thanks for hopping on.
All right.
I look forward to seeing you